sports. It's in the game.
All right, here we go. We're back at it. Took a long nap. Got a bone rolled. Got some tea going. And some coffee at the same time. Let's get into it. Thank you for the 7 of you that joined up. All the support. We're going to see if we can widen the lead here on the Dolphins this evening. I got a bag coming.
We welcome you back to Gillette Stadium here in Foxborough. It's the Dolphins in possession of the football as we rejoin the action.
Sorry, I just gotta pull up the chat real quick and knock cough my ass off. Excuse me.
In quarter number 2. The Dolphins on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point...
See, now he's getting smart. He doesn't want to have the 4th sack of the game
go right back out on the field.
On his
I feel
ass.
like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Matt Hawk now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And I don't think Edelman will be able to get to this one. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. 13 games going on here in this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a give to White. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
We always talk about, we always look for guys with fresh legs down the stretch of a long NFL season. Well, in Week 16, he was the AFC Player of the Week, and looks like he's going to be strong for Week 17 as well.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jerome Baker. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead them up 3rd and long. To throw is Brady. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Looking for Edelman, and he hits him.
Woo! That son of a bitch caught it, but it didn't get a fucking down. Damn it.
A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Fitzpatrick looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Fitzpatrick. This one into the hands of the running back, Balaj. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up.
And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. This will be fielded at the 6. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
What the hell happened?
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get this started up in Orchard Park, an AFC's matchup with the Jets in town to take on Buffalo. And it is the Jets who have the lead in that one. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown reception. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail in that matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This one fielded at the 5. Dorsett by himself, and all the way in, touchdown.
That's how you come on to the first. The second fucking half.
To the house on the kick return, and the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Showing off that speed and electric boost that he has. 95 yards that kick return goes down for. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Fitzpatrick. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick to throw it, and down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked. Michael Bannon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Edelman set to return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Patriots take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way.
That's how you do, baby. Boom. Freaking return touchdown followed by a freaking running touchdown. That's how it is. Slap it right
He's
to
been
him.
having a great
Dolphins,
game, and that one right there, his best run
they're
so
gonna go
far,
swim.
and it ends with 6 points.
And not only that, in his mind, what is he thinking? Can I get to 200 yards as well? Because he knows he's closing in on it. He may not know the exact number, but the best runners have a feel of what the yardage is that they're compiling, and he knows that he's getting close to that 200-yard mark now.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Fitzpatrick. He's got Allen. That's something we didn't see much of from Allen the last couple of years in New England. Heck, last season, 13 games, only 4 targets. But Miami going to try to get him more involved in the passing game as we saw there. And you know he has the capability. You think back to 2012, breaking in with Indy. He had 45 catches that season. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. Wilson's got it complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Matt Hawk now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken.
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. James White, 78 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. You talk about the dominating rushing performances that you and I have seen together. This has got to be right up there. His 4th touchdown run of the game and another long one to boot.
And I don't need to ask for a witness because you're right here with me. We are watching this, and we're watching such a performance that is demoralizing for anyone on defense. You know, it starts out, coaches screaming, tackle it, get it. And after that last touchdown,
keep playing football.
Pure silence on that side
we're
of
going to
the
keep
ball.
slaying them.
One after try for Gostkowski. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll stay on the ground. Mirage again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try to throw here, Fitzpatrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Fitzpatrick. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kalen Ballage out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Patriot offense heading back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game. All right, there's certain guys that maybe are starters.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. James White, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Gostkowski the extra point, and the lead will swell by
nobody
one
wants
more.
to stick and watch because, you know what I mean, whatever. It's my rookie year. That's why I keep saying it. You know? Yeah, buddy. My rookie year. Look at that.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Fitzpatrick looking middle, and it's incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Now White. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. And finally taken down at the 26-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They go right back to White here on 1st down. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Spence, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
They'll run for it. This is White. And an alley to run. He's got daylight. 30, 20, 10. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Gostkowski for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise Jr. just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and long. Fitzpatrick. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blank.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. First down, here's White. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Given up a lot of points in this game, but looked better on that play. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Brady gives this to White. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. 3rd and goal, Patriots now.
Tom Brady on the sneak.
We got to step it up.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Pats, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Miami, it'll be a 10-loss season as they wrap up 6-10. And I think you have to say, ultimately, this was a team that really underachieved. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA
is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. With that, let's head on up to Foxborough. Standing by with the call at Gillette Stadium, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it's a site that has seen more than its fair share of great playoff memories the last few decades, and more could be in store as we've got playoff football again at sold-out Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
You see the Browns are there. What did I say? What did I say? We might be seeing them. Oh, payback. I'm coming.
The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. Philip Dorsett by himself. And all the way in. Touchdown.
How that is,
from
boys.
one end zone to the other. 101 yards. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs. But the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game. That they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
Now Stephen Gostkowski on for the extra point. And he gets it to make it 7-0 Patriots. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
And Andrew Luck's skill set is absolutely fantastic. There's not anything that he can't do as a quarterback on the field. But I also think that he absorbed a little bit by osmosis some of that great bloodline. His father, formerly a quarterback in the NFL as well.
Sorry about that.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Off of play action. Luck. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
And this is a unit that has to feel good about itself. Got the win last week in the wild card round, and oftentimes we say you want to get the open week and get some rest. But many times we see the upsets happen with a team that won the week before and has momentum on its side.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
And now Edelman. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. They're led out by a guy who's done just about everything you could ever imagine to do in this league, the great Tom Brady.
It's been a lot of fun watching him develop in his career, but that will to win, he's had that probably since birth, and it transmits itself throughout his entire ball club. Watching him play, it can be an absolute joy unless you're on the other team.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11. Run coverage excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
On 2nd and 11 now. Brady, and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Now let's give you a look here at the New England offense.
An excellent year, obviously, because they got the open week, had the bye. But the one thing you always worry about, the rust factor. And I had a coach say to me one time, when you have that open week, you often think about scrimmaging so you're ready to go the next week, but you know you can't. So you cross your fingers and hope your guys are ready to roll.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They'll run with White. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. A look there at the defensive starters for the Colts. They were fantastic a week ago in the win over Houston.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Brady deferring to White on the draw. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And all the way in. Touchdown,
Yes!
New England.
That was it.
Darius Thomas, 49 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Play action, it's locked. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Dante Hightower. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Luck in the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. This one complete to Devin Funchess.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10 from the 34 now. Here's 1st and 10. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On 2nd down now, it's White. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, a run from White. White's got a first down and more. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Wait, that 380. We own it. We own it. Rip.
They'll run on first down. White. Pass the 20. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. James White, 50 yards. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point try for Gostkowski. And it is now 21-0.
Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe. We've got a bunch of content. We got
Just a
WWE.
four-play
We got
drive that time.
GTA.
And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off.
And we're going to see if we can keep getting to the Super Bowl here. And we also got UFC 3, so definitely. Go check out the content. All of it. There's 500 and something videos that I've put up, plus other content from other gorgeous channels. Go check them out.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot down.
A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with during a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Check 41. Let him know. Let him know.
On first down, it's White. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On second down, it's White, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On third down, White. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play.
And he is in. Touchdown, New England. James White with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit Patriots.
We're back. I'm going to get some football.
Twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Gostkowski with the extra point. And a route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
If he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, does it bring in your tight end, keep him in? Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. And they had him bottled up, but here's a late flag, and a face mask is going to get a much better starting position.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask certainly helps things as they'll start up past the 30 on first down. Here's White. And an alley to run. And he's into the clear. He's at the 30, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. James White saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Gostkowski the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So they hit pay dirt.
I wish you guys could smell this right now, what I just picked up. Ooh, daddy. I'm gonna have to roll one of these bad boys. Oh, man, I wish I didn't feel like shit. Anyway, thanks for waiting.
On just one play, the long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Marlon Mack now heading back out there. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here at a bit. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyle Van Noy leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
One second, I gotta take care of something. Like and sub, go check out the other stuff. Well, yeah, 518 videos, go check them out. Make sure to check out the shorts too. Just found out we could get monetized on those. Holy crap, I'm gonna blow my nose.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading on to the field. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. On second down now, it's White. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This, the first of 4 divisional round matchups coming up this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round games in the AFC. And it looks like a good one, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns doing battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, in our game, we've got 1 half remaining to find out who goes on to the AFC title game. And to bring it all to you, let's send it back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Seriously, my goal was to get to the Super Bowl, and that's what we're doing. And it's the rookie year, so yeah, guys. I think he gave me a whole ounce instead. Holy fuck, okay. But yeah, so we're division playoff game. If we swamp these guys, we continue to swamp them, we're going to get better. I can turn up the shit next time. You know, so the team will be better. I'll be better. And there'll be competition. The games will be better. But, like, I mean, there's still competition. Let's be serious here. I very much appreciate everybody that likes and subs to this channel. You guys are all part of making some lonely bastard from Maine's frickin', I should say some crusty bastard, because I ain't lonely, but some crusty bastard from Maine's dream of just fucking loving what he does. True. Yeah, mushy, gushy, fussy, and rushy. But like I said, go check out my brother's channel too, Good Grief K. He's got Skyrim playthroughs, he's got Elden Ring. He's been doing Skyrim lately. I think he got a little bored of the Elden Ring. I got a little bored of my WWE 2K, so I kind of understand. But WWE 2K, I play on the highest difficulty there is. Just so you know, guys. So if you check out those videos, you know what I mean? There's old videos that have been up there for 2 years. 2 freaking years, man. Ain't got one view from anybody. Well, other than myself, you know, because when I'm streaming. But alright, let's get back to the game. No more lollygagging.
Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back.
Sorry about that. Back at
Back here, this will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down, and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a throw left sideline here is complete.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On second down, here's a run with Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Check out. Wide, wide. They're running it.
Throwing on third down, Love. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that.
The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes. Lightning speed there from the safety, Devin McCourty, on the sack. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Luck defers to Mack, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball because keeping on the ground.
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line.
out of my way like a little prick. He wouldn't even get out of my way. I forget that I have my fucking on and off. Yeah, I am not. Oh my God! Look at this! Look at this stupid fuck! I get to fumble, and then he sits here and farts off in front of me like a douching bag. Look at this shit.
He knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line
fumbled it, all right. He
bageled it. There, and he ended up coughing it up.
Yeah.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. Going on the ground, it's White. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And that will extend this big lead. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On the ground, it's Mack. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Block on 3rd down. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. There he goes, Julian Edelman. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots. Julian Edelman taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Gostkowski with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Now we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Luck now to throw. Funches has it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They're having issues right now getting that running game going.
I wonder if maybe adopting some of the college run game would help here. Because we're still at that stage where you have a bunch of guys saying, I don't know about what the colleges do. And the college stuff is working in the NFL. Bigger line splits, create some more natural running lanes, might help the offensive linemen get better angles in their blocking schemes.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Luck. Had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And give the tackle to Anthony Walker. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the twist.
They go with White on the counter. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. New England on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It'll be a Patriot 1st down on a pickup of 16.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll run on 1st down. White. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They come out here in the I. And Brady will sneak it. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Yeah, partner, they went a little conservative, didn't they? And they ended up marking it short. And now I wonder, will they even do it again on 3rd down?
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out the ball.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Here's Lott. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran Jason McCourty there to make sure that one didn't find its target. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Lott throwing again. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
There he goes, Julian Edelman. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a 1st down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
The point after try for Gostkowski. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it. Because
into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Chung. And he will score. Touchdown, Patriots.
Fuck yes.
That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Gostkowski for the point after. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We play to win. Let's go.
And the Colts coming out now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
Let's get off the field.
On 2nd and 10, Locke. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out come the Patriots. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Come on, QB, come on.
Opting to run again here with White. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough.
Well, we're in it to
Patriot
win it,
first
and we
down.
won it. That's what it's up. That's what's up. It's all over with the promo for these guys. I really do feel like crap, guys. I don't know how long I'm going to keep spinning. I really appreciate every last one of you.
And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough way for it to end.
Yeah, they didn't just lose, they got fucking swamped. They got told that they shouldn't even have been there. It's like freaking Muhammad Ali
for Charles
boxing
Davis and all our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching
20-year-old
on
crackhead
EA Sports.
that's never fucking
The Patriots winners
seen
here at
one
home
thing of violence.
as
You know
we
what I
say
mean?
so long from Foxborough.
It's like there's no chance. There's no fucking chance in hell.